The scene opens on a seemingly ordinary street in a bustling city, perhaps late afternoon, the sun casting long shadows. Officer John Davies, a patrolman with a history of racially motivated complaints, subtly hinted at through his interactions with colleagues or internal thoughts, spots Jasmine Walker. Jasmine is a black woman, impeccably dressed but otherwise unremarkable at first glance, walking home from what appears to be a professional engagement. Davies, harboring deep-seated prejudices, sees her as an easy target. He initiates a traffic stop, citing a minor infraction, perhaps a broken taillight or expired registration, details that are later proven false or irrelevant. His tone is immediately condescending and accusatory, escalating the situation from the outset. Jasmine, aware of her rights and experienced in handling such situations, foreshadowing her true profession, remains calm but assertive. Davies, frustrated by her composure, becomes increasingly aggressive, using intimidation tactics and veiled threats. He demands her license and registration, scrutinizing them with exaggerated suspicion. The tension mounts as Davies deliberately prolongs the stop, searching for any excuse to exert his authority. Jasmine, sensing the escalating danger, subtly activates a hidden communication device disguised as a piece of jewelry, a silent signal sent to an unknown recipient. Davies, fueled by his prejudice and angered by Jasmine's refusal to be intimidated, resorts to physical force. He shoves her against her car, claiming she is resisting arrest, a blatant lie designed to justify his actions. The situation spirals out of control as Davies, consumed by his racist rage, begins to beat her, ignoring her pleas and the gathering crowd of concerned onlookers. The beating is brutal and unjust, a stark display of unchecked power and racial bias. Throughout this ordeal, Jasmine endures the pain and humiliation, knowing that her carefully constructed cover is about to be blown. She clings to the hope that her signal has been received and that help is on its way. The initial 12 minutes are a harrowing ordeal, a testament to the systemic racism that pervades law enforcement and the resilience of those who are targeted by it. The crowd begins to film the encounter, their phones capturing the horrifying scene, evidence that will later play a crucial role in holding Davies accountable. This part establishes the setting, introduces the key players, highlights the cops' racism, and sets the stage for the dramatic reveal. Precisely 12 minutes after the initial stop, as Davies continues his brutal assault, the situation takes an unexpected turn. Jasmine, despite her injuries, manages to activate a secondary failsafe. This could be a verbal code, a specific gesture, or the activation of a device embedded in her clothing. Simultaneously, a black SUV, unmarked and discreet, screeches to a halt nearby. Men in dark suits, their faces grim and professional, emerge from the vehicle. They move with coordinated precision, their movements betraying their training and expertise. Davies, momentarily distracted by the arrival of the SUV, hesitates, giving Jasmine a crucial opportunity. She uses a self-defense maneuver, disarming Davies and momentarily incapacitating him. As the men in suits approach, Jasmine calmly identifies herself, displaying a concealed badge and uttering a prearranged code phrase. The men immediately recognize her and take control of the situation, their presence radiating authority and competence. They identify themselves as CIA agents, their arrival confirming Jasmine's true identity. Davies, stunned and bewildered, stares in disbelief as the woman he was just assaulting is revealed to be a highly trained operative. The crowd gasps in shock, their phones capturing the dramatic turn of events. Jasmine, despite her injuries, maintains her composure, her years of training kicking in. She assesses the situation, calmly issuing instructions to the newly arrived agents. The focus shifts from her as a victim to her as a person in command, a transformation that leaves Davies reeling. The revelation is complete. Jasmine Walker, the black woman subjected to racist brutality, is in fact a covert operative working for one of the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world. Her carefully constructed cover, designed to protect her during a sensitive mission, has been compromised, but her training and resourcefulness have allowed her to survive the encounter. The arrival of the CIA agents marks a turning point in the story, signaling the beginning of Davies's downfall and the unraveling of his carefully constructed world. The immediate aftermath of the revelation is chaotic. Davies, his face pale and his body trembling, attempts to deny his actions, claiming it was all a misunderstanding. He stammers and stutters, his words failing him as he tries to justify his brutality. The CIA agents, unmoved by his pathetic excuses, maintain a steely silence, their eyes fixed on him with unwavering intensity. The crowd, emboldened by the presence of the federal agents, begins to voice their outrage, demanding justice for Jasmine. Their collective anger creates a palpable sense of pressure, further crushing Davies's already fragile composure. Davies's fellow officers, who had previously turned a blind eye to his behavior, now distance themselves from him, fearing the repercussions of being associated with his actions. He is isolated and exposed, his reputation shattered and his career in ruins. Jasmine, despite her injuries, takes control of the situation, calmly issuing instructions to the CIA agents. She directs them to secure the scene, gather evidence, and interview witnesses. Her voice is firm and authoritative, a stark contrast to the vulnerability she displayed earlier. She addresses Davies directly, her words measured and cutting. She informs him that he will be held accountable for his actions and that his racism will no longer be tolerated. Davies, realizing the gravity of his situation, pleads for mercy, begging Jasmine to spare him. He offers excuses and apologies, but his words ring hollow, devoid of sincerity. Jasmine remains unmoved, her eyes reflecting a cold and unwavering determination. The power dynamic has completely shifted, with Davies now at the mercy of the woman he had so brutally assaulted. The reversal is complete, with the oppressor now facing the consequences of his actions and the victim reclaiming her agency. This part highlights the shift in power, the cop's desperate attempts to backtrack, and the agent's composure. The story culminates in the unraveling of Davies's life and the ambiguous consequences for Jasmine. Davies is immediately suspended from his duties, pending a full investigation. The video of the incident goes viral, sparking national outrage and demands for justice. He becomes a pariah, ostracized by his community and condemned by the media. The legal process is swift and unforgiving. Davies is charged with assault, battery, and hate crimes, facing the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence. His career is over, his reputation ruined, and his life irrevocably changed. Jasmine's situation is more complex. While she has survived the encounter, her cover has been blown, jeopardizing her current mission and potentially putting her life at risk. The CIA launches an internal investigation to determine the extent of the damage and to assess her future viability as an operative. She is hailed as a hero by some, but also faces scrutiny for her compromised identity. The ending is not a simple triumph. While Davies faces justice, Jasmine must confront the ramifications of her exposed identity and the challenges of rebuilding her life. The story explores the complexities of justice, the enduring impact of racism, and the sacrifices made by those who serve in the shadows. The final scene could depict Davies in prison, reflecting on his actions and the choices that led to his downfall. Alternatively, it could show Jasmine embarking on a new mission, her resolve strengthened by the ordeal she has endured. The ending leaves the reader pondering the lasting consequences of the encounter and the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. It acknowledges the complexities of the situation, highlighting that while the racist cop faces the repercussions of his actions, the black woman, despite being a CIA agent, still suffers from the exposure and trauma. The story underlines that even those in positions of power are not immune to the effects of racism. This is my channel. If you enjoy the story, make sure to subscribe and follow for more story.